quick tip, an easy way to remove the top nozzle from a glue or paint bottle. Sometimes you need to remove the nozzle on a glue bottle. Here I'm using Ranger's Glossy Accents to deep clean the glue residue from around the inside of the nozzle. This is just a little tip on how I learned to easily remove the nozzle without risking cutting my fingers with a sharp object. I have a quick tip for today. I want to show you a project that I'm working on. I'm in a group, Art for the Creative Mind, on Yahoo Groups, and we're making pennants. The theme is Vintage Winter, and we're making one pennant for swap every month, and I always make an extra one for myself, and this is the one I made for January. I'm choosing to do vintage photographs. So I'm working on the one for February, and this is my one for February, and I have all my elements, but I don't have them all put together. So this is kind of a sneak peek. My partner does not know who she is, so I'm going to go ahead and show this. She may or may not see this, but she doesn't know who she is, so all is well. I have a vintage photograph of a lady walking in snow, and it looks like she's delivering a valentine. A little rosebud here, a little rose flower, and a little bird that's a harbinger of spring, and a little paper clip, and down here I'm going to have some ribbon that I don't have out yet, and a little glass bead hanging off of a gold chain. And then on the side here, I've got some Seven Gypsies dangles that I'm going to put on each side. However, the problem is, let me pull this out of the way, is that I'm ready to glue my ribbon down. This is a really light checked organza type ribbon. And I want to put it approximately 9 inches. Pull that a little bit more on each side just to give plenty of tie room, and then if it needs to be snipped off, it still can be snipped off by the person that it goes to if they so wish. So that's approximately there. And so I'm wanting to glue it down this way first, and see how that pink check kind of comes out on there. I'm going to use an old bottle that I have. I don't even know if they make it anymore. It's Sepia Glossy Accents, and as you can tell, I haven't used it for a long time, and look how it's clogged up at the top of this cap. Now I do put a pin in them when I keep them, but in this one I do not happen to have a pin in the nozzle. So here's my tip. I want to get this nozzle off, but I do not want to use a sharp object to reach under there because I don't want to cut myself. So here's the tip. You get the pliers. Now you'll want to kind of hold this so that when you squeeze on this, that this little tip doesn't fly off into outer space and you'll never find it. And you gently, gently, gently squeeze the top of that. And as you squeeze on it, it will force that nozzle up and out. Just kind of keep squeezing. See how it's coming out there? And then you can get on it and pull up. Now that's a lot easier than trying to pry it loose with a knife. Ouch. You could cut yourself. Now I want to clean it out in there, so I'm taking a pin and I'm just getting around in here. And you all know how to clean out. This really isn't a part of the tip because this part is pretty self-explanatory, to clean off this goo at the top. And you just kind of, it's still, I think that cap kept it pretty damp and wet, so it's kind of sticky, but it's not dry. So I'm just kind of cleaning it off around in there. I need a paper towel here, but kind of cleaning all that goo off so that I can get in there and clean it out so that it will flow again. I could do more of this offline. I think I got it good enough to put it back on my cap here. And just pop it back in there. Put it on top of the lid and pop it back in. You want to make sure that it gets in there pretty tight. Take my pliers and push down on it. And then, of course, I got it in, this part doesn't matter, this is just the cap, but I can clean that out too if I so wish. It looked like I didn't have a pin in there, so it oozed out into the cap. I'll grab a part of it and then I'll clean the rest of it off offline. So you want to clean it all off and then make sure that the opening is clear. And when you put it away, I always put a little pin in it with a little round head. You can do this, or I have one here that I've used for another. Sometimes it gets kind of gunky up here around the pins and they get kind of rusty. So sometimes I don't put, as you can see in this one, I did not put a pin in it because I didn't want it to get all rusty and gooey and gunky. But you can just put a pin, and this is nothing new either. You just put a pin in it and then put your cap back on and screw it down. I don't have that cap cleaned off. So I have that all cleaned off. Now I can use it to glue my, and I kind of like this sepia color for this because it will enhance this pink of the ribbon here. And I think I'm going to kind of spread it out a little. And pull my ribbon down. Now you'll probably see this glue more on this side than you would the other because it blended in, but that's okay too, because if I decide I don't like it, I will cover it up. But so far so good. I'm just pulling it down here. There we go. We'll let that dry, and then I can proceed with embellishing the rest of my pennant. Take my pen, wipe off the nozzle. I'm run out of paper towels here. Wipe off the nozzle as good as you can. Take your pen and put it back in there. And I happen to have a clean cap, so I'm going to put a clean one on there. And there you go. There's your tip for the day of how to take off this part of your glossy accents by taking your pliers. And be sure you have your hand over that. Otherwise, when you squeeze here, you risk the nozzle part of it shooting out if you put too much pressure. So I just kind of put my hand there and squeeze until this part of the nozzle comes out. So I hope that was a help to someone out there. I'm going to go ahead and finish my pennant up today so that I can get it in the mail. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed seeing this quick tip, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next page.